Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the claims and arguments made in the YouTube video, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth 21 Questions. So, the source material kicks things off with a pretty fundamental question, challenging something most of us just take for granted. Our goal here is simply to walk you through the belief system it outlines, as neutrally as we can. To really understand this perspective, we're going to follow their logic step by step. First, we'll look at their alternative model for the Earth. Then we'll see how they explain the world around us, and after that, we'll get into the really big claims about fake pictures, a global conspiracy, and, the reason for it all.
All right, let's jump right in. The core argument from the source is that our world isn't a globe at all. Nope, it's a flat plane.
This right here is the azimuthal equidistant map. Now, the video presents this not as some distorted projection of a globe, but as the actual, true map of the world. Their point is that this map came first, and the globe model we all know is just a warped version of this original design. So, one of the most crucial ideas in this model is that you can't just fall off the edge. Instead, all the world's oceans are held in by a massive 360-degree ice wall, what we call Antarctica. And according to the video, what's beyond that wall? Well, that's the big mystery. Some believe there's more land out there, hidden from us all.
And to support that idea, the video uses this quote from the famous explorer Admiral Richard E. Byrd. They present this as a hint from someone in the know that there are in fact vast unseen lands just beyond that Antarctic rim.
Okay, so that's the model, but how does it explain the things we see every single day? Let's get into their version of physics. Right, this is probably the first question that pops into your head. If the world is a flat disk, what happens to the sun at night? Well, according to the video, the sun basically works like a giant spotlight. It's much smaller and closer than we think, and it circles clockwise above the flat Earth. It never actually sets, it just moves away from your position, eventually hitting a vanishing point, kind of like taillights on a long road. And its path, moving from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn and back, is what creates the seasons. Okay, next big question. What about ships disappearing over the horizon? Isn't that the ultimate proof of a curve? Well, the source argues it's just another trick of the eye. And this really gets to the core of their argument. What we call curvature is simply the natural limit of our vision, the vanishing point. The video makes a big claim here that if you have a powerful enough camera, you can zoom in and bring that ship that disappeared right back into full view.
Then there's gravity. The video flat out rejects it, calling it an unproven theory, a kind of scapegoat for things scientists can't explain. Instead, it argues that simple principles of density and buoyancy are all you need. If something is denser than the air around it, it falls. If it's less dense, it floats. No mysterious force required.
All right, but what about the photos, the iconic images of a round Earth from space? This is where the source material gets really interesting, focusing on what it calls the fake pictures argument. The video highlights this quote from a NASA data visualizer named Robert Simon. He's the guy who created the famous 2002 blue marble image. The source presents this as a direct admission that these images aren't real photos at all, but computer-generated art. They claim there hasn't been a single real photograph of the entire Earth since the Apollo 17 mission back in 1972. So the source really drills down on this process, arguing that these images are more about artistry than reality. Simon himself explained how he had to stitch together data, paint in colors, and even add clouds back in. The video points out he said he had to use Command-Z a lot, the undo button, to create the world as he imagined it should look. So if the model is wrong and the pictures are fake, who's behind it all? This brings us to the central claim of the source, that the globe model isn't just a mistake, it's a massive, coordinated, global deception. The source lays out a pretty extensive list of powerful groups it claims are responsible for what it calls the globe lie. It alleges these organizations have been working together for centuries to establish a one world order. As a piece of evidence for this coordination, the video points to a symbol it claims is hidden in plain sight, appearing again and again in the logos of the world's space agencies. The argument here is that this shared red vector, or chevron symbol, is a kind of secret nod, a covert sign connecting all these supposedly independent national agencies. It suggests that while NASA might say it represents a hypersonic wing, that doesn't really explain why so many other countries would use it too.
So we've covered the what and the who, but that leaves the biggest question of all: Why? I mean, why would anyone orchestrate a deception on this scale?
And this is where the argument becomes less about cosmology and more about philosophy. The source frames this whole debate as a battle between two completely different views of our place in the universe. One where we're just a meaningless accident, and another where we are special, created, and at the very center of everything. So, the ultimate motive, as presented in the video, is really a combination of spiritual, psychological, and financial control. The idea is that if you can convince people that they're insignificant and hide potential extra resources, it becomes much easier to manage a population that feels lost and without purpose. So to quickly recap, the source presents this model of a flat, stationary Earth. It explains natural phenomena through alternative physics, and it claims the globe model we all know is part of a massive conspiracy designed to hide humanity's true special purpose. And in the end, it all comes down to this final question the source leaves with its viewers. It reframes the entire debate, turning it from a question about the shape of the Earth to a question about personal meaning and our ultimate place in the world.